Council and Glendale Housing Authority. May we have a roll call, please?
Council members Agajanian,
Present.
Devine,
Here.
Najarian,
Here.
Sinanian,
Here.
Mayor Harpetian.
Here. What's next?
Roll call for Housing Authority. Authority members Agajanian,
Present.
Harpetian,
Here.
Najarian.
Here.
No.
Sorry. Sorry.
All of a sudden we're being
Here.
with this. Thank you. Najarian,
Here.
Sinanian,
Here.
Parazian,
Here.
Chair Devine.
Here.
Thank you. The agenda for the June 6, 2017 joint public meeting of the City Council and the Housing Authority was posted on Friday, June 2nd, 2017 on the bulletin board outside City Hall. This is a public hearing, Director of Community Development, regarding tax-exempt revenue bonds in support of Park Paseo. 1A is a council resolution approving the issuance of approximately 25 million tax-exempt revenue bond obligations.
Sir, Mr. Rocha?
Yes, sir. So this may sound a little bit familiar to the majority of the council, the exception of Mr. Agajanian, who has now joined us. But this is an item that almost to the day this hearing took place last year. The CMFA, California Municipal Finance Authority, vests local agencies like the Glendale Housing Authority as the venue in which the bond hearing that we would be having today would take place. Even though you don't issue those bonds and that they are the obligation of the company before you, Southern California Presbyterian Homes, also known as the B Group, you are effectively the conduit for this entire discussion under what's known as TEFRA, the Tax Equity, if I remember correctly, and Fiscal Responsibility Act. So this hearing is regarding the $25 million in revenue bonds that are being sought through CMFA by the B Group to effectively rehabilitate the 98 units, in one manager unit plus 97 resident units at the Park Paseo, which is just to the south of City Hall here. If the transaction were to go forward, as has been previously blessed by this joint body last year, then it would secure those units for 55 years as affordable housing, and they could continue serving the community as they have been since their development. I would also advise that as you had this hearing last year, rather than wait for the consummation of the deal, the folks at B Group made good on the repayment to the Housing Authority of some $900,000 that repaid the city for the initial infusion of cash back when the properties were first developed, as well as some appreciation of those monies. So that was actually paid last fall. So those monies are now sitting in the Lomond Housing Fund to be used as part of your discussions going forward with the Affordable Housing Strategic Plan. So with that, this is a public hearing. I would expect that the mayor would open the public hearing, and we would take testimony for and against this proposed transaction, understanding again that the liability accrues to the B Group, that the bonds are issued by CMFA under the TEFRA law, and that the joint body here assembled serves really as that conduit for the public to weigh in on this matter. So with that, certainly Mr. Zovak can answer any questions about the TEFRA law or the project, and of course representatives from the B Group are here present before you today.
Yes, I open the public hearing. Is there any questions from the applicant or Mr. Zovak? I have a couple of questions.
Yes, I have a question.
Okay, Mr. Zovak.
Well, I'm very familiar with Park Paseo, and I'm very familiar with Southern California Presbyterian Homes. I know the people who live in Park Paseo, actually, most of them. The problem I have is, say, we are not obligated, we are not liable, and then we are the one who's guaranteeing some sort of 25 million bond, revenue bonds. That, I don't understand. To tell you the truth, I'm confused. We are issuing, and then we are not responsible for it.
No, I can explain. What you're simply being asked to do is to conduct a hearing to allow people to come and make comments regarding the proposed issuance of these bonds. These bonds are going to be issued at the state level. through CMFA and SCPH through their partnership. The only reason that you're being asked to conduct the hearing on behalf of the state of California and all the parties involved is that you're the local agency where the project is located. So the feeling is that if there is someone that might have a comment about the proposed bonds, it would come locally, and as a result, the best place to have a hearing would be to conduct it at your level. So you're simply opening and having the hearing on their behalf. You're not, as Mr. Ochoa stated, you're not making any guarantee towards payment of the bonds. It's a private activity bond. And in fact, doing this for CMFA, we are actually earning a fee from them for having that. And that we would collect once the bonds are eventually issued.
Thank you.
So this bond is to rehab the project again?
Correct. Simply to rehab the one project, Park Paseo.
And how many units is this again?
98 units, 97 total units, one manager's unit.
Is it on what's the address?
It's
The one across the street on
right
Harvard?
across the street from the rear of the Jewel City Bowl. And
One
they
on
have
Harvard on the corner?
Yes.
Okay. The Spanish design.
No, that is also SCPH. That's their newer project, Otto Gruber. So it's the 8-story tall building just adjacent to the north of that.
Got it. Okay, I got it. All right. Thank you. I have a question from the applicant.
Okay, so we have two representatives, one from California Municipal Finance Authority and one from SCPH, to answer any questions that you might
Is there
have.
anybody from B Group here?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I knew that. I was just testing Mr. Zovak. So.
Good afternoon. My name is Oris Dolnyuk. I'm the Director of Project Planning for Southern California Presbyterian Homes. We do business as B Group. So thank you, and happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay. I brought this issue last year, and I'm going to bring it up this year again. Hopefully, we can get some help from the B Group in solving one issue that all of the tenants have, and that's the issue of filtered water. The filtration systems were removed, and rightfully so. I know how the process is, and every little modification you make to your plumbing, you have to disclose that and report it. Is very difficult. But within this new project, do you think is it possible? I'm asking to put this new filtration system in, so the tenants who are mostly elderly and they don't have to walk 5 blocks and carry gallons of waters, and your other, I met with John here. We met with your somebody from your office in Glendale, but about a year ago, 8-9 months ago, and we offered him. I said, if you find out what is the cost of installing this system into your older properties as well, the ones that are not being renovated, let us know. Maybe the city can help. Maybe we can raise money for it, because the tenants, the only complaint they have, they love their facilities. You guys are doing a great job. I mean, it's well kept, it's well maintained, the service is great. The only complaint they have is the water issue, and that's something that has been near and dear to my heart. I've been pushing for it ever since I got elected, and I want to know what is it that can be done.
Well, we have, having heard your comments last year with regard to this issue, and given that the reason we're undertaking this project is to do some substantial rehabilitation of this building and do significant capital improvements to it, we did add, as part of our scope of work, a filtration system, essentially a water station for residents in this building. So as opposed, they will not have to leave the building. They're on the ground floor in the laundry facility where there's water and where we're doing upgrades to the system. There will be an installed a station where residents can come and fill their jugs or containers, and that system will be free of charge to residents. As part of the overall master meter for the building, we will include that for residents. So we did hear the concern you had, and like I say, given that in this particular project we're doing a lot of improvements, and that's the purpose of undertaking this project, we did add that filtration system into our project. Like I say, it's gone through plan check here. We're actually ready to pull a permit. We're getting close to completing this project. Just simply got held up a little bit on time, and that's why we're conducting the hearing again today. So,
okay,
we did include that in our scope of work here.
I really, personally, really appreciate that, because I think that's the biggest challenge that the residents have. And How many buildings do you have in Glendale? I think 4 or 5.
We have 5 buildings. We have
5
approximately
buildings.
400
And
units.
one of them has this system in there already?
Correct. Because we're, like say, here to do this work today, and we have the ability, as we're doing capital improvements here, to include it, we have included it as part of the scope here.
I understand.
So-
And your other 3 buildings, is there a way to find out? I know you're not doing a major improvement in your other buildings. Is there a way to find out what would be the cost of adding that filtration system if somebody magically comes out and wants to pay for it?
I think obviously that's something I would have to defer to our operations folks, because those buildings are not undergoing any work, and I honestly just handled the kind of the development end on new projects. So I think the lady you had met with previously about a year ago, Jacqueline, I think she's the one who operationally is responsible for all the existing buildings and operations. And certainly I think we're happy. I mean, we've been a partner with the city for many years and are happy to have any discussions and try and accommodate where we can. But certainly I can't commit or promise to anything
I understand.
today.
No, I'm not
buildings.
asking for any commitment. I
Yeah.
was just asking if there's a possibility of, looking into it and see if there is a way of doing it, what would be the cost, that's all. All right,
Like I say, something.
appreciate it. Thank you,
Okay.
thank you. Thanks for doing this. It's really,
I have a question. What's the nature of this issue? I mean, is it only in your properties, or is it, I mean, I don't know that we have a water problem anywhere in the city, do we?
Our water's good, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why I'm curious about this particular building or your buildings, or,
it's not this particular building. It's many of the buildings you can have your own water filtration system. And because of the state laws, it's making it very difficult for the developer or the owner to allow every single tenant to have a water filtration system, because you have to modify your plumbing in order to install it. So every modification to any of the plumbing, you have to disclose it. So with 99 units, it's a big problem. That's why the water filtration system were removed. So the Glendale water is good, but I don't drink it. We all have filtration system in our homes. So that's why the tenants are looking for some sort of a relief, because they go to Ralph's and everywhere else, other departments.
is that because they don't want to drink the Glendale water? I mean,
A vote of confidence.
I just,
We
No, what I'm saying,
I don't get it. Okay,
well, you don't
Your
have
point.
filtration system in your house?
no.
Okay.
I thought maybe it was pipes or plumbing, or, no, it's just the fact that they don't want to drink the Glendale water, basically. Okay.
Yeah, they want to have filtered water, and they go to Ralph's or any other department store and buy filtered water. That's all.
Thank you.
Okay. What's next, please? Is there a motion to
Close the hearing and motion, sorry.
close
the hearing.
Yeah, I'll close the public hearing.
Just need a motion.
Is there a motion to approve item 1?
So moved?
Second?
Roll call, please.
Council members Agajanian,
Yes.
Devine,
Yes?
Najarian,
Yes.
Sinanian,
Yes.
Mayor Garpetian.
Yes. What's next, please?
Motions to adjourn for Council and Housing Authority.
Move for council?
Second?
Roll call, please.
No, no roll call necessary, just need one for
The
authority.
authority?
Second.
Thank you. That's it.
Okay.
We are adjourned.